Let's be real for a second. High school's almost over, and pretty soon you're going to be making some huge decisions, like where are you actually going to live? It's a massive question, and guess what? Math, yeah, I said it, math is your secret weapon to figuring it all out. So, you're at a crossroads. You can rent an apartment or you can buy a house. This is one of the first giant adulting decisions you're going to face, and we're going to use some surprisingly simple math to break down which one might be the smarter move for your wallet. And I am not exaggerating. Choosing where you hang your hat is easily one of the biggest, most expensive decisions you will ever make. It's a choice that's going to affect your bank account for years. So yeah, getting it right is kind of a big deal.
Now you're probably thinking, easy. I pay a landlord, or I pay a bank. What's the big diff? Well, it actually goes way deeper than that. We're talking about totally different responsibilities, freedoms, and honestly, different ways your money works for you.
All right, it's time for the main event. Let's get these two options in the ring for a financial face-off. In this corner, we've got the flexible, low-commitment champ, renting. And in the other corner, the long-term investment powerhouse, buying. Let's get ready to rumble. So here's the deal. When you're renting and the toilet explodes at 3 a.m., not your problem. That's for the landlord. Plus, when your lease is up, you can just pack up and go. But when you buy, you're the boss, which is awesome. But it also means you are paying for that new toilet. The major upside, though, is something called equity. Think of it like this. Every payment you make on the house is like you're buying one more brick. Over time, you own more and more bricks, and that ownership is worth real money.
And this quote right here just nails it. It boils down to three things: what you pay every month, if you're building that valuable equity, and how much freedom you have to just pick up and move. So let's stop talking in theories and put some actual numbers to this.
To make this super clear, we're not going to use random numbers. We're going to follow the story of Naya. She is staring down this exact decision right now. And by walking through her choices, we can see exactly how the math plays out in the real world.
Okay, here's the setup for our hero, Naya. Option A, she can rent a pretty nice apartment for $575 a month. Option B, she could buy a starter home for $75,000. So, which path is going to leave more cash in her pocket after 1 year? Let's find out.
We're going to start with renting, because honestly, the math here is about as easy as it gets. No scary formulas, I promise you. If you can use the calculator on your phone, you can do this.
All right, so Nia's rent is $575 a month. That's our starting point. Simple.
Now, we just take that number and multiply it by 12 months in a year. And boom, that's your total cost to rent for 1 full year. Easy peasy, right?
Okay, deep breaths. Let's tackle buying. I know what you're thinking. Oh no, mortgage calculations. This is where it gets scary. But relax. We live in the future. We have tools for this. Nobody, and I mean nobody, expects you to do this by hand.
Seriously, it's basically like using an app. You just pop open the finance tool on a calculator, plug in a few key numbers, the price of the house, the loan's interest rate, and how many years she'll be paying it off. And then you literally just hit solve. The calculator does all the hard stuff for you.
And, will you look at that? The calculator spits out her monthly mortgage payment, $372.01. Wait a minute, is that right? That's over $200 cheaper than her rent every month.
So just like we did with the rent, we're going to take that surprisingly low monthly payment and multiply it by 12 to get our grand total for the year. Let's see how they stack up.
And here we go, the side-by-side comparison. Renting for a year sets Naya back $6,900. Buying, on the other hand, costs her just over $4,400. That's a difference of more than $2,000. So buying is the clear winner. Case closed, right?
Whoa, hold on, not so fast. If you think that simple calculation is the end of the story, you are missing the massive plot twist. See, the monthly payment is a huge piece of the puzzle, but it is not the whole puzzle.
Here's the stuff that first number doesn't tell you. Homeowners have to pay property taxes every year. Then there's insurance. And when the roof starts leaking or the water heater breaks, that repair bill could be thousands of dollars, and it's all on you. And maybe the biggest wild card of them all, the value of your house can go up or down.
I mean, think about it. What if Naya gets lucky and, in 5 years, her $75,000 house is suddenly worth $80,000? That's $5,000 in her pocket just from living there. But what if the value drops? She could actually lose money. That's the risk and the reward of building equity.
And this is why this stuff matters so much. See, math isn't about finding one single perfect answer. It's a tool. It gives you the power to look at a huge life decision like this, to see all the different ways it could play out, and to make a truly informed, smart choice for you. And that's really the key here. The first calculation is your starting point, but the real wisdom comes from using that number to think about all the other what-ifs. You know, math gets you in the game, but critical thinking is how you win.
So there you have it. You just used some basic math to tackle one of the biggest financial questions anyone can face. It wasn't so scary, was it? In fact, it just gave you more power. Now the only question is, what other big problem are you going to solve next?